Upon playing Blaze on release of 0.2 and unexpectedly turning into a Blaze main, I waited. And waited. I didn't see Blaze getting a guide, much like how Papa or Opal have done for some other survivors. Other videos I've seen flowing around have been face-valued guides, and I thought of making a video of my own. Now, this is my guide. I want to be as clear as possible, and I totally welcome any critiques or arguments in the comments. I'm a little new with using this type of video format, so please be gentle and polite. For starters, let's begin with her base stats and passive as of the current version of the game. She has standard HP, a constant to keep the Executioner with the burning debuff using most of her abilities, and a burn meter that affects the way that her abilities function. It's best to mention the burn meter when we're talking about her moveset. Round Kick is her primary stun. It throws her forward, and for as long as she's in the air, her stun is active. Yep, her stun will only end until she lands. If you land your kick, she flies backwards for an easy retreat and a 17-second cooldown. However, if you were to miss, you are punished by ragdolling upon landing in a 25-second cooldown. I guarantee that Executioners will punish that vulnerability, because I do exactly that. Interestingly, she has iframes during her kick. Do what you will with this information. When landing her kick, she will gain 35 burn. When above 50 burn, her kick will be laced with flames, where on use she will lose 20 burn and apply the burning effect. FYI, the burning debuff will slow down and deal damage over time to the affected. Most importantly, if you trigger the ability while in the air, you instead do Soul Dash, which is very different to her kick. She will dash towards where she is facing, sending her pretty far ahead. I'd say that this is more of a movement ability, but you can still stun with it, primarily in the area of launch. Also giving you 35 burn and the recoil mechanic if you do a direct hit. Burning Javelin is a thin, straight projectile that doesn't stun, but instead focuses on sending the impaled Executioner in the direction that it's going until the flight time expires or lands on a surface. Along with that, you also gain 15 burn. You can still impale an Executioner even while they are stunned, taking advantage of a stationary target. If in the moment that you need more time during a chase, you can land your Javelin by getting closer to the Executioner to make it easier to land. If you are careless with this useful ability, you will struggle trying to keep the Executioner off of you and your teammates. It is a very difficult ability to land, and I would say that it is as detrimental as missing Amy's hammer throw. Now for the fun part. If your burn meter reaches more or equal to 50, your abilities will transform, turning into Soul Boost and Soul Flame. Soul Boost is a stronger and controlled Soul Dash that allows Blaze the power of flight in the direction that she is facing. Your flight is dictated by how full your burn meter is, and will quickly drain unless you land on an Executioner, which you gain 35 burn. Apply the burn effect and a recoil. It functions as an escape tool out of corners and chases, or as an aggressive offense, rewarded only if you land all of your moves consecutively. Soul Flame, her strongest ability, is a short-range flamethrower that pushes and burns the Executioner upon contact, and is only relative to the horizontal direction Blaze is facing. You cannot aim this up or down. I'd say that it's a stalling and self-defensive ability, for its mere simplicity and utility, allowing Blaze to have control in an encounter with an Executioner for as long as your burn meter will drain. You can outright deny some attacks that the Executioner can do to you or a teammate. Along with that, for the duration of Flame, Blaze will remain uninterrupted. No M1s, no charges, nothing. Of course, don't use this ability like it's your only move. A competent killer will just walk away and find another target. So use it to throw the Executioner onto a wall or a corner. Also, please be aware of how full your burn meter is when Flame is about to end. I've gotten hit for being too confident with Flame. Now, what about her playstyle? How should you be playing her? Well, for as long as I've been playing Blaze, I seem to play the role of Lifeguard. never engaging directly with the Executioner, but helping my teammates out of chases by intervening or completely denying the Executioner's moves. Somewhat to Tails, you can be that safety net that watches over the team in case someone misses a stun, as she has one of the quickest stuns in the game. You can use this quickness to surprise Executioners behind corners. Always try to make it as inconvenient as possible for the Executioner to even continue a chase, since you can easily catch them by surprise behind corners or corridors or, in general, open spaces. During LMS, she can be a monster if you lock in. Along with the 50% damage resistance, her kick cooldown will be 10 seconds. However, you can still be punished with a 25-second cooldown if you miss. This practically allows you to generate burn much faster, therefore longer flame and boosts. Well, what about her weaknesses? She's a team player. She is a part of the team! Her biggest weakness is unreliable teammates that won't help you out of a chase. I understand if there are people healing or recovering cooldowns, but Blaze is super vulnerable in a tunneled chase. In those scenarios, she can be forced to use both of her abilities, probably missing them, and suffering greatly unless she has a team she can rely on. If you play Blaze, do not stray away from your team. You need their help to get out of chases unless you know insane map knowledge. Sometimes, if you fall out of line, the Executioner can take advantage of your bad positioning and flat out murk you. Oh, and don't get me started with stairs. Kick, flame, or javelin can be screwed over because of your awkward positioning that going up or down some stairs can put you in. You want to be on flat grounds. I'd say missing her shots are a big weakness, but that's more of a player problem. I would understand if she is hard to get used to playing, but would I say that she's still enjoyable to play? Very much so. I love the risk and reward playstyle where my mistakes can have big consequences, but my succession can save teammates. Her moveset can make for some clever moves and makes herself an active threat on the field. We are just playing a game after all, with our rules to comply with. In Blaze, she's on lifeguard duty. This is the third time I'm gonna do this. Let me keep this nice and sweet. The game's gone. The game's cancelled. I tried holding as much faith as I could on a game that imploded itself, started killing off the things it got right. I'm not mad that my video is now pointless. I'm not really. I'm just a little bummed out. I do want to say this, particularly in Romeo. Thank you so much for keeping the game glued together for as much as you could. I'm truly sorry that everything just turned on you. And for all of the team, you guys should still be proud of what you made, what you've done, and this should just be set as history, as, well, it shouldn't carry on as a burden, but as a lesson. To set this in stone, for any other game being developed, if it starts walking in the same steps as Outcome Memories did, just something like, let's say, staff harassing each other, private information being published, the audience demanding too much from the devs, overwork in general, those things, we should be wary of them. We should not make the same mistakes again. Again, to the dev team, you guys should still be proud of what you've done. You've brought people together, you've made them happy, you've inspired them to do a lot more with their lives. Pulled them further into the Sonic community, because you did all of that to me. I'm still happy that Outcome Memories happened, and that It did change a lot of people's lives, good and for worse, but it's over. We can move on now. See ya.